Hey, whoa, whoa. How we doing? How we doing? Huh?
I'm just.
How we doing there?
I'm not gonna become one of those guys. I don't think. I'm not one of those. You know the guys.
No, I don't. I don't know.
Who give a bow? You never met a guy who gives you the.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like a guy. It's not like a guy that's like, oh, you never met a guy that bows? Oh, Frank. He's a guy that bows.
Remember last week we were having the ponytail man bun thing. You brought up that it's a certain kind of guy. I didn't think of it at that time, but right this moment, ponytail. That's a matchup.
I think there's ponytail people that bow, but that's
there's no ponytail people that bow.
There's
so how would you word that? Not all people with ponytails bow, but all people that bow have ponytails. I believe that's the way they'd phrase it on the SATs that way.
Right. That's how you would do it. That's how you would do it. You're right.
If you had to do it,
that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. What's up, dog?
Share the link if you're out there. Don't make me get aggressive, okay? It's been a long day for your boy.
Has it been a long one, my man?
Not really. No, I wanted to guilt the people into sharing the link, and now you made me come clean. Not to bring it back to last night. We missed Timmy last night. We missed you. We did. I know there's extenuating circumstances.
I was living out here in shambles.
We were talking about a man with a penis on his arm.
Real shame.
Big one.
Real
too.
shame. Real shame.
We got a good one. Hate to see it. Gonna be a fun one tonight. I am excited. We're talking Hot Rod.
Yeah, this is one of
Garrett's
our faves.
back in the building.
Long-time fave of this movie.
I'm excited to see Garrett again.
I'm guessing that in the past 2 weeks he looks exactly the same.
I see he is in the waiting room.
With
he's actually shadowed. He's bowing to us nonstop in the.
He's shadow boxing and bowing.
Whew. You can see his heart rate up. Share the link. Kate's in the building too. We're gonna have a good one. Hot Rod.
Yes,
it's gonna be the movie for movie night. Before we go any further, Tim, I think you know what's coming.
I never do.
How's your day?
Not bad, my boy. Not bad. My yard. Did we talk about how my yard is overtaken by cicada killer wasps on the show?
We didn't. We didn't talk about that. However, we were. You were distracted. You were distracted last eve.
No, this has been a 3-week ongoing infestation of my yard by wasps that tie. They're 1.5 inches long. They're massive wasps,
goodness,
and they live in the ground. They're not murder hornets like you see. But you know when you see that picture of the person with their hand out with the 4 murder hornets on their hand, like it's like the thing that circulates. Those aren't actually murder hornets. They're cicada killer wasps, which are what are in my yard. And they aren't technically aggressive towards, like, they won't come at you for no reason. They'll only come and bite you or sting you if they think you're invading their territory. The problem, Ty, is the yard's their territory, and I live
right.
there.
Yep.
So their whole deal is they dig holes, then they fly out and they kill. They get a cicada, they stab it, they paralyze it. This is how savage these animals are. They don't kill it, they paralyze it, drag it back, and you can watch them doing it because the cicadas are like 3 times as big as them. They drag the cicada back through the air, drag it down into the hole, lay eggs inside of the paralyzed creature, which then causes it to die.
What a monster.
And then the next season, so next year in the middle of July, the eggs that they laid inside of that cicada will burst forth like an alien, and then a fresh generation of cicada killer wasps will come out and do the same shit again. And every
What's
year,
the lifespan? Is it 1 season? And then they're dead?
2 months. That's it.
Can't imagine that. Can you?
It's their whole. And the worst part is, like, it sounds like, oh, it's 2 months, but it's 2 months you can't use a whole piece of your yard. And this year they're getting extra aggressive. They're like you can't go out on the deck because they're just going to fly at your head. And my neighbor's got them in his yard. I see him out there with a tennis racket.
How big are they? How big are they? How big are they?
About.
Wait a second. Do they look like kind of like
a cockroach size? They're big.
I think I have them at my house too.
They're humongous. Like you can't miss them. They're horrible, and they make like it sounds like a small bird is flying. When
yeah.
Well, Kudressa, let me just address this. I did that. So so like I told you, they come back year after year by laying eggs. So this started 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I didn't know what the hell these things were. So I went and I filled all of the holes in the yard with gasoline. Right, I just got a thing of gasoline. I filled all the holes, and it obviously disperses into the soil, but the fumes stay in the hole. Then I got one of those long poles that you would trim a tree with, so they're like maybe 15 feet long, and they have a saw on the end. And I wrapped a rag around it, lit the rag on fire, and from a distance, I lit the holes of the yard on fire. They exploded, as you can imagine. They exploded.
Well, you have a penchant for that kind of activity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And what was crazy is because the fumes disperse throughout the tunnels, you can see that these things have tunnels that are like 7 feet long because it would just like boom, 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 all the way through the yard. It didn't kill them, Ty.
Oh man,
they didn't die.
Oh,
so then the next
you angered them. I'm sure you angered them.
They know I'm their enemy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They know you're not a friend. Later, of course.
I'm not a friend of the wasp. Never have been. Never will be. It goes ape, wasp, bird.
Snake. No, snake.
Snake. Yeah, snake.
Snake slash bird. Well, snakes are birds of the ground.
Yeah,
as we know.
Yeah,
wingless birds.
We've said that many
are
times.
A snake. Wingless birds are a snake.
Yeah, they're the bird of the ground, like you said. That's exactly right. The gas doesn't work, so I come back at it with ammonia. All right, I go to the store, I get ammonia. I fill the holes with ammonia. I've got a 5-gallon bucket.
Show me how you were walking in with the cans.
I said, "You're all done. You're done, waspy boys." And I put the ammonia in, and I have a 5-gallon bucket full of rocks that I'm going to plug the hole up with then, too. Ammonia, hole. Yeah. Doesn't kill them. Kills all the grass, which is already pretty badly burned from the gasoline. So I call the exterminator. Exterminator comes out. He's like, "Oh, yeah, you can't kill those with conventional methods." I was like, I wasn't using conventional methods. So
he slips you a number. He's like, "You got to call this number."
Right.
It's just a
guy comes with a machine gun.
It's a hitman for bugs. Yeah. You don't want to look him in the eye. Don't look this man in the eye.
Your days are numbered.
But it's like a 16. It's Anna.
It's Anna with an axe.
Yeah.
And
a 13-year-old boy. He's like, "Yeah, man, I figured it out."
Well, the exterminator comes and he puts some powder in the holes. Like, this is going to take care of him. But anything that's already in there, it's going to hatch next year. Hatches next year. This is now the 4th year in a row they keep coming back. The exterminator's been here 3 times this year. Can't kill him.
Hands are tied. His hands are tied.
Anyway, you asked. How's your day?
My day is fine. I have not battled a vicious species, so that's the thing. I guess I have one up on you there. But overall, good day. Got to spend some time with my buddy Joe A today at the golf shop.
Joe A.
Had to hit some clubs. But hey, before we go any further, we're going to bring Caden, and then we're going to bring Garrett in. We're going to talk Hot Rod, which I know you guys are all jacked up about. But I need you to share the link.
Can you share the link?
Share the damn link.
Is this even playing live in Honest Travs? If it's not an Honest Travs, where is it? They're sick of seeing us share it. They're sick of seeing us share it. They want to see you share it.
And if there's a show that they're going to love, this is the show. Honest Travs group is basically Honest Trav is Hot Rod.
Yeah,
he's a hot rod man. He's got the wheel. He's got the car. He's got the big, fast cars.
Share it. If it shows up 5 or 6 times in that group, they'll have no choice but to give it a watch.
I think people are getting a little stingy with the shares.
Well, and look, I understand being stingy with the shares. I don't share stuff very often.
True.
I don't do it. I don't like doing it.
If you were, this is the one.
Tonight's the one. Bring her in.
Let's bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen.
Bring her in.
Esteemed colleague of the program. Sorry.
Rock hard abs.
You love her. Some hate her. Just kidding. Everybody loves her. It's Kate Hughes. Okay.
Oh, Annie.
Oh,
Annie get up tonight, huh?
Annie get up there.
You got it.
Didn't expect that for tonight.
Yeah.
For any night. I didn't expect that for any night. But
I thought you
very
made a
festive.
promise. You made me a promise
That she wouldn't do Annie?
I know.
No,
I couldn't get it done.
She would have a weenus on her arm.
Well, the paper mache probably didn't set in time.
I'm working on it, fellas.
The Jello mold. They were
we don't want to know what she would improvise with.
No.
Oh, this is a children's program.
Yeah, that's right.
Open that top dresser drawer, right? Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Where's my Gorilla Glue? Sticks it right on there.
Joe Abraham is stepping it up by sharing it and then also spamming people's inboxes with the link.
Maybe that's why
Joe, that's the way to do it.
That's why Joe loves us
big time.
And who he's spamming, they hate us. So they're
we'll take the hate with the love. Hate. We just want an emotion. That's all we want from you people.
Tim, I felt like you with this hair.
How's it feel? If you feel free?
Yeah. Me, look at this.
Oh, that's right. It's the hair club.
Are you gonna leave it, Ty? Are you gonna let it go or not?
I'll let it go for a while. I think the babes love it.
I think the babes love it because they spoke.
Because they
when I punch myself in the elbow or in the arm there, that kind of hurt me. Getting too strong because of all the working out I'm doing.
We weren't gonna bring it up.
No, I was gonna say that I'm pretty sore, but
actually, Kate, I feel terrible because
Tyler feels great.
I feel wonderful.
I feel sore. My quads hurt. My hammies hurt, and then I wrenched my back in an unrelated activity.
It's just a reminder.
What was this activity, young man?
It wasn't anything cool like you were thinking. It wasn't any of this. Talking.
Wait. What was
it wasn't any. It wasn't any of that.
Fighting.
I lifted up
a
generator.
A neighbor.
There was a rival dad on my block.
Put it up.
Put him in a fucking Cobra clutch.
Oh, look at this, Tim.
Right in front of his kid.
I need to share this. Well, your son gave me a hard time about the shirt no more than 10 minutes ago.
Well, and Ty died. You see, like Tyler.
Oh, Ty died. He's dead. Ty's dead. Ty died. I got to give a shout out. Palm Golf, friend of the program, Dustin Gall, his company, Palm Golf. So a little shout out. So you lifted a generator, Tim. What a mistake for a 34-year-old man to do.
Well, I lifted it with ease, as you can imagine, because I'm incredibly strong.
Did you go down and lift with the legs, bend down?
Well, it was on the back of a pickup truck, so I was standing up straight because it was like at this, you know what I mean? And there was no other person in my town with enough size to get it.
You should have called me.
I should have called you or Andrew Hess, the only available people who could have done this.
Ho.
What?
My muscles they're fine.
Oh, but you weren't fired like I was, so.
Yeah, you had something to do.
Yeah,
probably.
True.
So I lifted it up and I put it on the porch and I put it down and I didn't feel a thing. And then later that night,
you're like, ouchie.
I thought, boy, it feels like there's glass in my spine.
Yeah.
Again.
Dude, but you got to know you're too old for this bullshit.
That is not true. I'm
totally true.
Than both of you.
You don't know how.
I know everything.
Ask him how heavy the generator was. Ask him how heavy it was.
I don't know. 200 pounds, maybe.
I could do that. Easy peasy.
We knew you were going to.
Yeah.
Especially if you're lifting with them legs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. You get to a certain age, I think, and if you lift something heavy, especially if you don't do it.
Tyler, no.
Are you going to interrupt me all day?
Get that out of your head, man. Get it out of your head.
It's true.
It's
you
not.
If you have to lift things proper as you get older, we're not
young.
You have to
lift things proper all the time.
Yeah, but your recovery is much easier when
your recovery is much easier.
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm trying to have a real conversation with my friend Tim. I got some crazy redhead interjecting.
I love this. I'm gonna keep this. I think.
Are we wearing pants tonight, Kate? Or is this?
I ain't got no pants.
I had a feeling.
Kate,
gods of war.
I can't wait to get into this, but we gotta ask.
Actually, they do this at that moment. May your hammer be mighty.
Yeah. That is true.
All right, let's bring the boy in. He's been waiting long enough.
Let's do it. We got, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're sitting on the edge of your seat. This is gonna be a good one. Okay. We are discussing Hot Rod.
I'm excited.
And with our favorite movie guru, it's Garrett Smith. Back from vacay, looking tan, looking sharp. Here he is.
What's up? How's it going? How's it going?
I should say,
How's it going?
John Wayne.
It's confusing.
No disrespect. We love you too.
Oh, we also love you. Yes.
Yeah, we
this
also
is
love
true.
Why wouldn't we love them? What do you mean?
Because I said
He's
he's
a favorite movie
favorite
guru.
movie guru.
Oh, really rubbing it in there, right in his eyes. Huh? Why don't you put lemon juice in his eyes while you're at it? He has coronavirus for. The man literally has coronavirus, and you're throwing salt into his coronavirus wound.
Maybe that's the
What
cure.
does he look
Maybe
like?
I'm curing the man.
Maybe that's the cure. Little slight.
But we have known Garrett for a longer, so
Tim, you look like a Joe Pesci character right now.
My stupid hair's all wet, so it's slicked back. But I wanted to do a mustache in honor of the.
I wanted to do a mustache
movie.
also, but I didn't do it.
Well, next time. There's always next time.
Yeah. Harrod.
Did you, Kate? Have you seen this before? Prior,
You know what?
to
As I was watching it, I think I did see it before, but
I really love this movie.
Me too, man.
I think it's so underrated. I think people, those type of people who immediately dismiss a comedy because it's stupid. They'll be like, "That's stupid." It's not, but it's not purely stupid. It's stupid on purpose, and it's intentionally stupid. It's almost like Naked Gun. It's not that type of humor. But it's that level of stupid that it's
That's
so
a good
well
analogy, actually.
It's not pointless stupid. I think there's a lot of like pointless stupid movies. This movie does have it's a stupid story, which is what's so funny about it, but it does have a story. There's legitimate stakes in this movie, and the character grows over the course of the movie and learns things. Like, it's not a pointless stupid movie. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, that's actually like the defining difference, I think, is that a lot of movies, especially con movies, just dismiss that they need to have a story at all. And then they wonder why their movie sucked. And it's like, well, you're not invested in anything at all.
Like, the story of this movie is so fucking stupid, but it's one of my favorite things about it. The story of this movie is that this man needs to save his stepfather from death so that he can fight him and prove his worth to him. That is
it's Ian McShane
story,
who's a real actor. Like, he's a real established great actor.
This movie gets funnier every time I see it.
Same.
Like, it has grown on me so much with repeat viewings over the years. I realized recently it might be the funniest ending of all time. It's the funniest final frame of any movie I've ever seen.
It's pretty funny.
Dumb.
Yeah. I can't believe it's that old. I feel like it.
It seems like it should be 2012 or something. I know. I was actually disappointed.
Was it 13 years old or something like that?
More than that. No, exactly. It's exactly 13. It's exactly
so,
His 13th birthday.
Well, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of it. But in the comments, some of the other movies we've watched, great movies, but not extremely quotable.
Yeah.
Hot Rod, very quotable.
Super quotable.
I actually had a note about that, Ty. I'm glad you brought it up.
Cool beans.
So, in the comments, comment with your favorite Hot Rod quote, and we'll see where it stacks up with the guru himself. Tim, what's your comment on the quotability of the film?
Because exactly like you said, it's super quotable, but we've all been blessed that it didn't turn into an Anchorman situation where people quote it to the point that you hate it.
Yeah,
that hasn't happened with this for some reason. It's quotable, but it didn't go Napoleon Dynamite or Anchorman.
This movie wasn't popular, and I think still is pretty is not actually that popular, or even I think does have kind of a cult following now, but nobody really talks about this movie.
Well,
everybody that's seen it likes it, but this movie nobody saw it.
Even Rotten Tomatoes has a 2-star. Sorry,
Will Ferrell. It's okay. He's
an actor. He's a famous actor.
Oh, okay.
I share a birthday with him.
Do you really?
He's been in many pictures.
No, but he was associated with this. Do you know how, Garrett?
Yeah, this was written for him, right? This was meant to be the next, because there was that period where he made all those sports comedies.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Hot Rod?
Yeah.
Because the original script is written by a woman. Do you have her name in front of you, Kate?
I don't have her name in front of me. But they rewrote it.
Yes.
They did.
The Lonely Island
crew. I missed that comment.
The Lonely Island crew got their hands on this and rewrote it for themselves.
I said you look shitty. Because even that line is so dumb, but it's so what you would do if you were like a teenager and afraid of what to say. So you just say anything,
A 30-year-old
and then like run away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be. I think.
No,
he's
I know.
supposed, yeah.
I know what
How old is Rod in the movie?
In real life,
right?
he's
I think he's
20
supposed to be like 19.
He's like 29 in the movie, though. In real life,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like 28 or 29.
But yes, I think he's supposed to probably be just out of high school, I would guess.
I
Right?
think so too.
But yeah, they're all fucking 30. One of my favorite things about this movie is every time we enter a scene, his friends are in the middle of like a game that they've made up. They're always like hitting each other's hands and stuff. Like,
And that's how it's done.
yeah.
It looks painful. Some of it.
It feels so much like the boredom of like suburban youth. You know what I mean? It's
Danny
great.
McBride's also a treasure.
So by the way, Pam
my
Brady.
introduction to him. I was introduced to Danny McBride through this movie the first time I saw
Oh,
it.
that's interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love him. I love
Yeah,
him.
he's good.
Yeah, I wonder. This might be the first time I saw it. So Pam Brady is the writer's name, by the way, and she wrote the South Park movie, Team America. She was the producer of Hamlet 2. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
Yeah. So she's done a ton of like really big comedy stuff, and she wrote this script for Will Ferrell, I believe, and then it eventually got
I'm
turned
so
into like.
glad
How-
he didn't
how-
do it.
What do you know the details of why that fell through?
I don't, but I do think there's like a dozen of these like would-be Will Ferrell movies out there that either just never got made or got turned into like movies for other comedians.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is actually my favorite. This is probably my favorite part of.
It looks like in 2007 he did Blades of Glory, so maybe he
That
did.
part. Do you guys know that part? So
I can't stop laughing, visualizing it in my head.
that really happened to his friend.
Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took acid, got the thing in his head, and then he called Bill Hader to pick him up, and he picked him up.
What does he say? He's like, he calls him.
He's like, it's not.
Yeah,
You say like it's not a big deal. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's
something like
fine,
that.
we're good over here, but
It's like
we
precautionary
might be able
or
to
something.
find some of these clips.
And then in his memory of what doing acid was like, it has the other Lonely Island guy for like a second.
Yeah, and that's who directed this movie. That's Akiva Schaffer.
Okay.
And one of my favorite parts is when he flips that top hat onto his head and then just like rolls off screen.
Gone.
Yeah.
And his mother, I don't know how to say it, Akiva Schaffer. Is that
I
how
think
you
that's
say it?
right.
Whatever. His mom was in it, and she's the one where she gets hit. She's outside of the van, and she gets hit with all those flyers when that guy's like throwing flyers everywhere.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
that's his
Did not
mother.
know that.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know? I got lots of notes, boy.
Jim, check the private chat.
Okay.
I got a YouTube link in there. I kind of want to see that part right now.
Yeah, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, so that very first stunt, I don't know if you know this, Garrett, the very first one where he does the jump, he's trying to jump the van, and it goes horribly bad.
Uh-huh.
The stunt man that did that, he actually broke his leg during that.
For real?
For real, yeah.
Jesus.
And then, go ahead.
There's like numerous good stunts in this movie. Like
Yeah.
for being about a dumb stuntman, they had to like actually put a couple of stuntmen through like really ridiculous shit,
What-
and it's
I
pretty
Do you
cool.
guys do you want to see that clip?
Yes,
It's a 2-minute clip of what we were just talking about with where he's remembering the acid trip and all that.
Chris
kind of
Lewis. This goes out to you.
stuff. Bow,
I love his
Bow.
suspense.
bow, bow.
Will Hader's really funny in this movie.
He is.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
Oh,
I love the Will Arnett cameo too.
Oh, it's not doing anything.
No,
mm-mm.
no, sir.
I'm a terrible producer. I'll tell you that.
You
much.
are terrible at this. I'm just kidding.
What a jerk!
Just trying to say something. So he
Reminds me
put
of the last administration.
Bill Hader
I need
has
6 drinks.
extensions
No.
in his hair. Did you know that for this thing? And he had them in his hair all summer. There he is. There he is. I don't know. Can we hear it?
There's no sound.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, there's-
Oh, there it is.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Dave, what happened to your eye?
Wait, Tim, go back. I never noticed this. Start it again.
Oh,
Chris Lewis brings up. He holds the air symbol. Did you notice this? Watch.
That's really funny. I never noticed.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That's really funny.
Hey, Rod, thanks a lot.
Oh God, can you imagine that? Ugh.
Yeah.
He goes, this?
Oh, man,
Is it really noticeable?
Well, I got off work early, and you know my buddy Derek? Well, he was like,
I've got this acid, but I can't do it.
I was all like,
That's the guy from Popstar, right?
Yeah. He's one of the members of Lonely Island. And he directed this movie.
I didn't love.
I got on my banana board, man. I was tripping balls pretty hard. So I
He does
decided
it.
on my bench grinder.
Oh God,
and,
here it comes.
A piece of metal flew up.
Oh.
Pretty awesome. And that brings us to now. Yeah, well, just try and relax. Can do, man.
Can do.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Rod. You look like a giant eagle with fire all around you. You got a mountain for a face. Guessing that's the drugs, Dave. Yeah, but it's also just kind of weird seeing you drive this minivan. Yeah, well, it's my mom's. Balls, man! You just ran over a small bus. It's a really small bus. I just ran over it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Oh, what the heck? I guess it cuts off at
That's
this
the end of
point.
the clip.
Yeah.
That's it,
Well,
folks.
there you go.
Love this movie, guys.
And you can do that on Facebook without getting pulled. If you did that on YouTube, like our YouTube stream actually probably just did get pulled. But you know what? I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
We don't
it ain't-
care.
It don't matter. It don't matter to me no
Get
more.
him out of here.
So I also really love the Big Footloose reference in this movie.
Me
You guys know
too.
what I'm talking about?
I wrote that down where he dances it out. We need
Yeah.
more of that. Yeah.
That is it's like almost a beat for beat recreation of the anger dance that Kevin Bacon does in Footloose, and it's fucking incredible.
And then he falls. He falls for 47 seconds.
Yeah, I remember
you know-
when I first saw that. The first time I saw that, I was crying because I was just
Yeah.
because you haven't seen that really since Monty Python time.
I mean,
Like movies stopped doing that.
it's also one of those jokes where, like, I've definitely seen that joke, but that's a joke from like Black Sheep, right? Where that joke happens a lot, where somebody falls down a mountain and
Yeah.
it really crazy. You just see a dummy go flying.
But not for like a minute.
It happens for so fucking long
Yeah.
that it like goes from being the stupidest thing you've ever seen to the funniest thing you've ever seen, back to the stupidest thing you've ever seen, back to the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
What do they call that? It's called like a rake bit, right? Or
Yeah,
something?
right. Yes.
Yeah.
There's that famous Sideshow Bob version of that in The Simpsons,
Yep.
where he's just surrounded by rakes, and every step he takes, a rake flips up and hits him in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that, and it reminds me of the Sir Lancelot scene in Monty Python, where he keeps
Yeah.
coming in the field and then he's just there at the end.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
This is one of those like, and obviously, probably being an actor in movies is probably never not fun. But this movie just seemed like it was super. Like they probably had a blast making this.
Yeah.
Oh, my
movie.
gosh. Yeah. So what's that guy's name? I can't remember his name. He was on Arrested Development.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. He was
Will
only
Arnett,
there for 2 days. So when he first. Yeah.
And we all know that
Yes.
guy too. That character.
I was
we
just
know.
gonna say that. That's somebody like I felt like I knew very well.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
You
he
know,
take her
the
to
funny story
Applebee's?
about that. So I saw when I was working at the golf store in Manhattan, they were filming Ninja Turtles, and his trailer was right outside the door
That's funny.
to our golf store. And I was walking back from lunch one day, and he was walking into his trailer, and it overtook me, and I just yelled, "Sully!" And he turned and just gave me a wave. And it's like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
That's funny.
I didn't love the. Did you watch the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Did you like it, Garrett?
I like that one
I thought it was
better.
scary.
I liked it better than the first one they made. Like, I like the original movies a lot.
Oh well, I'm not talking about those. Garrett.
Right.
Those are classic.
I liked the
pieces.
second one better than the first one they made of the big scary turtle movies.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Because it was like more like the cartoon. It had like Krang in it and shit.
It was more fun and it had more
Yeah.
callbacks to the old style,
Yeah.
but it did this weird like. It was scary and it had like Transformers elements to it,
Yeah.
and like I mean, it was Michael Bay did it right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he just makes everything Transformers and bad. So,
Yeah.
But Kate tried to say something 15 minutes ago, and we all were like, "Shut the hell up, Kate!"
Again with their mouth. I don't remember, but I can tell you the notes that I have. So at the pool when they did the Bell song, that was all just improvised. Did you know that?
I did not, but I imagine a lot of this movie is just them dicking around on camera.
And then the Cool Beans thing, they originally it was, and they pulled it out. And then what's Andy Samberg and the other guy, I guess they edited it and they showed the director again, and he or she was hesitant to like put it back in.
I can see why they'd be hesitant, like because it doesn't even match up, even within the context of a crazy movie. It still doesn't make any sense.
It's really odd, but they said that when they had the premiere, people said that was like one of their favorite scenes, so then they decided to keep it in.
It is one of my favorite moments in the movie because it's like it is so weird, but it's also like a style moment, which is interesting. Like it's a joke that is also a stylistic choice as opposed to just, I don't know. For some reason that works really well for me, especially in the context of like this group. They, they made so many music videos and are very good at that kind of musical comedy that bit mostly cribs on. I don't know. I really like that moment.
I just texted Chris Lewis because I'm dying about the air symbol thing. And he goes, he's been doing that. Like when he does air drums, he's been holding the symbol and he's like, no one ever gets it, but now maybe
someone will get it now.
Finally.
I love the fact that he's been just doing that without explanation, without saying, "Do you guys get it?"
Now we get it, Chris.
Oh, that makes me laugh. Oh, that's the gift so far for me.
The part where he asked the girl out at like the ice cream place or whatever that place is. So that
What's
was
her name? What's the girl's name?
Kathy. I don't know her name.
Whatever it is. It's just so it's so stupid.
But if you watch it, like I rewound it, I'm like, is she laughing? She's like laughing hysterically.
Oh, really?
You can tell that she's moving and laughing. So
that was probably the most difficult of making the part of making the movie.
Oh my God, can you imagine? And Danny McBride was drinking beer the whole time. Like the whole time.
One of my favorite lines in the movie is when he freaks out on that guy and he like picks up trash and he starts yelling trash as he throws it. But one of the things he says, he goes, "I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day."
It's no sense. It makes like I wonder if that had to have been just something like he just said it in the moment, because why would you think to write such an insane thing to say?
Yeah.
That's right, Kathy. And then it cuts.
Yep.
It's almost hard to. This is almost hard to do because I just want to be watching the movie.
I know. Well, one of the things I think is interesting about this movie is like I have kind of become an Andy Samberg fan over the years, like since this movie, and my partner and I just watched like all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine over the last couple of months. And that show's great. It's really funny, but it's also full of, they do the Cool Beans joke like within the context of that show. There's like a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, he just likes certain kinds of jokes.
Yeah.
And everything that he does is peppered with them.
I heard that show's pretty good. Is it worth watching?
I like it. It's good. I like it. Like we watch The Office a lot as like kind of background noise comedy. Yeah. Right. It's like that. It's like, it's very funny, but it's also very like, you know who the characters are, and it's like every episode is funny because they just write good stuff for them. It's very sitcom-y. It's good.
I was wondering what happened to him.
Who's
Andy?
Yeah,
I think he's just freaking rich and just.
Well, I was going to say I figured you guys would like this enough, and it sounds like you did. I think for next week I was going to recommend. He has a new movie that's out that we can all watch.
Yeah,
that I think is really good.
What is it called?
It's called Palm Springs.
Shit. Nice.
I saw the
shout out Palm Golf.
Did you guys like? I want to ask all three of you. I don't know if Kate saw it, but I know you.
What does this mean? Garrett, does anybody know what this means?
Oh yeah, so Lazy Sunday was like the first Lonely Island video that was really popular on SNL. It's like one of the early rap videos that they made for SNL.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was. I think I read that.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine like now knowing that Cool Beans was on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Like how crazy, and number one, crazy how they would sound to like vouch for it and lobby for it, but also how much faith you have in that. You know how much faith you have to have in that bit when it's not a famous, like looking back now, you're like, why wouldn't you have that in the movie?
Right.
But at the time, like Andy, what do you want?
It has to. Well, it has to be almost impossible to make any choice like that. Like if you're making this kind of movie, or I guess any kind of movie, like I think about that when I see things that are out of the ordinary. Is like, what would the repercussions have been if you did cut it? Because the right decision, probably like the correct decision, is cut it. Like if the film school decision is probably cut it.
Oh yeah.
But that's just amazing to me. Like the decisions that have to be made and like how
you wonder. Yeah, you wonder like how many of these moments or scenes are like have died on cutting room floor. Yeah. In movies. And before we lose this one, Chris Parnell, he's one of my favorite small roles in this movie. Chris Parnell,
he's a great small role in everything. He's always a small role, and he always has that. I don't even know what word to describe his voice with, but it's a very 1950s father voice.
Yeah, what is it? He's an AM radio host in this, right?
And it's urinating on the on the television.
Oh my gosh, I love him, and
he had sex last night, and there's some residue left, and
it keeps getting worse and worse. Or the fact that an AM radio station would even have $50,000, or that all of that would have been covered by $50,000. Like there's so many layers of stupid that are happening.
Well, I read about that too, and it would have been $650,000 for that
easily for all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you read about what it would actually have costed?
Yes.
She went deep in.
I do a lot of research for these guys. I was fired. I have a lot of time on my hands.
It's like a Reddit thread. It seems like I would have to guess.
But Garrett, have you guys all seen Popstar?
I was gonna ask you that, and then Ty.
I think Popstar is another one that gets better every time I see it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and then the more I've watched it, I think the funnier that movie gets. That movie is very funny, and it's also
only watched it once, so I guess maybe I should
check it out again, because I think once it's like devoid of the expectations of being what like once you just like settle into what it is, it's really funny.
You know what happens to me sometimes, Garrett, that like with this kind of thing, because Hot Rod you could tell didn't cost a ton of money, and it's almost like when a movie is great that was cheap, and then they get some money, I'm almost more critical of them because I'm like, shit, now they got money and it's gonna suck.
You know what though? When you watch Popstar, if you watch it again, pay attention to the production value of that movie. The concert scenes in that movie are fucking incredible. They're like huge, and they're these enormous productions that look amazing. And frankly, I don't know how they did it They actually did not spend like that much money on that movie. I actually don't know how they got
$25 million. It's not like a small budget.
It seems like it shouldn't have cost that much. Like,
right.
Must have been a lot of Ian McShane money.
The thing about what was I going to say about?
I'm sorry. There's so many. There's so many funny lines.
It's so quotable. It's so quotable.
Oh my god, it's Ebenezer Scrooge.
But if you watch, because I kind of felt the same way about Popstar. I liked it when I first saw it, but then it's going to be hard to watch. But if you watch the Justin Bieber documentary that it makes fun of, it's so funny.
Yes,
because
I didn't even know it was making fun of a Justin Bieber.
Yeah, like almost like just that whole like lifestyle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like being in the limelight, like your whole life, that kind of thing. Is that
and also like just talking about how shitty it is, but like you just made a documentary about yourself. So
yeah.
I did watch it also in the defense of the movie. I watched it at a bar.
Yeah.
So it was my old favorite Bethlehem bar that's closed now.
Drink. Everybody.
Hometown Heroes, baby.
Hometown Heroes.
I used to love that bar because they'd have movie night at the bar.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was so
I just like their sandwiches.
Great.
Can I recommend, by the way, there is a cut song from Popstar that you can just find on YouTube called "Fuck Off," and it is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Now's the other thing about Popstar. The songs were kind of good.
They're great, actually. Yeah. I mean, one of the best things about The Lonely Island is that they're like Edgar Wright. Do you guys know who Edgar Wright is? He's the director that made Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. So the thing that makes Edgar Wright so good is that like Shaun of the Dead is actually a good zombie movie. Like he is making fun of that genre, but it's actually a good version of that genre.
It's one of the best zombie movies, actually. Yeah, it's one of the best modern zombie movies. Yeah.
The Lonely Island is that way for pop music. They are actually good pop musicians. Like they write actually good pop music that makes fun of pop music.
I like it.
I actually just watched the other night. Now, because like for a while, before I don't know if it was before the movies or in between the movies, but like when the Captain Jack Sparrow song came out with Michael Bolton, I'm on a boat. I watched the Captain Jack thing the other day, and that's such a Just the entire premise of like, let's get Michael Bolton and he's going to be obsessed with this movie, and we're not going to explain it. It's not going to make any sense, and it's also a really catchy song.
Yeah.
It's such a funny idea. Like, I don't know. I haven't thought about it for 10 years, and I watched it the other night.
Yeah, it's like they have these ideas where you're like, fuck, you're like jealous of them.
And then you have to get Michael Bolton to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they did it with Timberlake too. I mean, Timberlake's probably easier to get than Michael Bolton.
Yeah,
he's young and
he's also, I think he's like kind of friends with them, right? Like he goes back to doing that Dick in the Box skit with Sandberg and them, like on SNL. He did a lot of skits with them. But I actually think he has one of the funniest moments in Popstar. He like the personal chef to Andy Samberg's character in Popstar.
Yeah.
But we, the audience, know he's Justin Timberlake, and so he's like at one point like cutting vegetables and singing. And it sounds amazing because it's Justin Timberlake singing, and Andy Samberg's crew all at once look over at him and go, "Shut the fuck up, chef! If anybody's gonna sing, it's gonna be him."
They don't get it.
Oh, I want to watch this movie.
Rocky in the building loves the Lonely Island.
Yeah.
So that the lead actress.
Yes, Isla Fisher, or I don't know how to say her name. Isla. I don't know. Isla. Yeah.
I would probably.
She's married to a big time celeb, isn't she?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Is she really? I didn't know
Indeed.
that.
Yeah.
She published 2 novels when she was 18 years old.
What?
I did not know that. That's wild.
Yeah.
About what?
And
No
then
one
never
knows.
again. Then never again.
No, and then she has published some children's books.
Get the heck on out of here.
Yeah, but she loved to write and act, so she did both of them. 18. I read that. I was like, I feel.
Yeah. No one does that. That's
really
wild.
sloppy.
That's driven. She was a driven young lady.
Yeah, I'm
Makes me
jealous
feel
of her.
shitty.
I know. I
she's-
feel really crappy.
I think she's very funny in this movie, and I actually think like this is yet another dude comedy that like doesn't have a great role for a female in it, but she I think does a lot with the role that is pretty like fun and funny. Like this could be a manic pixie dream girl role, and I think she kind of like rises above that. She like makes the character feel a little more well rounded than that.
Yeah, she absolutely does.
I think maybe because of the way that she looks. I feel like you look at this girl and you're like, oh, she could kind of be anybody.
Sure,
like she's like the girl next door kind of person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I like actually do kind of buy that she would think it's kind of fun and funny to hang out with these weirdos.
Yeah.
Well, also, I think it's true. I think it's absolutely true in real life that most people, men or women, they have an envy for when they see people being themselves and not apologizing for it.
Yeah.
Even if you're rich, even if you have all the cool stuff, I think there's a baseline envy of people who are just having fun. So I think like that's true that she would, even within the movie, see like this is maybe the way I'd rather be living than my shithead boyfriend.
Well, and she says that too. She says about Andy Samberg, about Rod, that he never stopped doing what he loved to do, and she admired that. I thought that was I really liked that part of the movie. I felt like that was a really good message to have.
That's probably how they got Isla Fisher to even be in it.
Yeah,
right. She's probably from the same.
Was that
way,
before she blew up though? Was that that was pre-Wedding Crashers and everything, right?
No, I think Wedding Crashers is before this movie actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one year she made like 10 movies or something. She's a ridiculous person.
Yeah, she had.
What happened to her?
You know what? She was very funny in a movie recently called The Beach Bum with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers was 2005, so a couple years before Hot Rod.
Oh, so Hot Rod was 08?
07 for Hot Rod. Yeah.
Well, a couple was 2 to you, and it was 3 to me. So
okay.
I just wanted to point that out.
A couple is like 10 for me. Like a couple, I never. It is.
Is it?
So you know. Yeah. When I say
That's
a couple,
way
it's
off.
never 2, and it's never 3. It could be like 5 or 10. A couple.
That's a bunch.
Couple of days.
Half dozen.
Yeah.
You guys know that couple does mean 2, though, right? We're all at least on board with that.
Oh yeah, like if
you're gonna go with few. I think that's more of a
like
loose.
if you're in a couple, that's 2. But like a couple of days, that could be 7.
I think it's always 2.
Yeah, it's always 2. That's why I made.
I think
the
it's
joke
pretty
earlier.
much always going to be a 2 situation.
Not for me.
All right.
Just so you guys know.
So, but it is 2. Couple is 2. I think it goes couple, then few.
Few. I'm with you.
Then bunch.
No.
Then 10.
Okay, so if you're gonna have,
it just goes to a number.
Yeah.
Wait, if you're gonna have a couple of chips,
we have to count after
I'm just gonna have a couple of chips. That's 2.
Yeah.
No.
You should
No, it's
you should
not.
phrase it. I'm going to have a few.
A couple of chips. That's like a whole Pringles.
It's a phrasing issue that you're running into now.
I don't think it's. I disagree with that. I think
several falls right in there.
Several's 3, right?
I'm looking into it currently.
Is it several 7?
No.
Several is 7.
That's a couple.
There are several days in every week.
It's not a lie. Yeah. Few refers to a number between 3 and 10.
Few?
Yeah.
And a couple,
and then it's 10. You say it.
And then it's 10.
No.
This is too uninteresting and going to take too long for a show, I think. I can't get you what you need.
We'd love to know in the comments.
I'm trying to find the
what
official.
Do you think the order is?
Oh.
Obviously, 1 is 1 or single. Couple is 2. Few is 3 to 4. A bunch is 5 to 6.
I'm out.
Several is 7 to 9.
Nope.
And then it's 10.
Mm-mm.
Huh?
What's a handful?
5.
What that guy had the other night.
Aiden Quinn, he's been wanting us to talk about this all night long.
Pringles?
I saw that.
He said, I wonder if Arm Pecker can put his pecker in a box. He wants us to talk about it. Garrett, I don't know if you've seen the news, but a man, he lost his penis.
I kept seeing this picture floating around, but I didn't actually understand the context for why he had a dick on his arm.
That's why.
Thanks to modern science, he does.
Thank you, modern science.
I did get a couple post-show comments.
Karen, no. A definitive no on that one.
No.
Let's just reduce that. Sorry.
I got a funny one from a friend, Mark. He said should have been a Field of what was it? Field of Dreams reference. Mm-hmm. If you build it, you will come. And also, Tim had a funny one. Do you think at some point scientists will just rent people's arms to grow dicks on them?
like it'll become donating plasma, but you have to walk around with an armful of wieners just flopping around. It would be.
I think people would do it if the money was.
I got to get paternal leave for this dick farm I got on my arm.
I got a really big one growing down underneeth.
I don't want to show you what's in my armpit.
Yeah.
Fertile soil is underneath the arm. That's the fertile soil.
We're just going to keep talking about this. We talked about that for an hour.
1 hour.
I don't feel like I need to have kids anymore because I can just grow these things myself and be impressed this way.
It's like a musical. What are those things called? Like a wind chime or something?
Yes. A vibraphone of wingers.
Wings.
Go to Canal Street in New York and somebody's selling them. He's just like, he just opens up his trench coat and he just got a bunch of.
Wait, I love this.
One, what about that one? That one will look good on you.
Guys, I need to comment that Karen drops in on this room while we're talking about dicks on arms, asks if we're talking about Avatar. We say no. Talk about dicks on arms for 4 more minutes, and she's like, all right, I'm out.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Later.
Good night.
Karen, thank you for stopping by.
Smart.
Appreciate it. I don't know.
Good night.
Thank you.
Not
Karen,
Avatar.
but we'd love to see it. But you notice the chat starts firing up once we start talking about this.
Yeah.
They love it. They love the subject.
And then we had to go right into and then tomorrow's movie night with Hot Rod, and we're like,
Hot Rod.
It was good. The whole night was really good. Wasn't there?
The Lonely Island guys, have they made anything recently?
So I mean, I think they produced this Palm Springs movie that I think we should watch for next week. They didn't write it, but they produced it. And I don't actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I think the last thing that they made together was Popstar, I think.
Okay.
Is it one of those things? I know none of us have inside info here, but that they ended up do they quietly hate each other because they've been together for too long and made too much money, or are they?
I don't know. I don't think so, because that actually is literally the plot of Popstar. So they made a movie where that was the story of a group of 3 musicians. And so I feel they either already went through it and figured it out and made a movie about it, or they were able to make a movie about it because that is not the reality that they live with each other.
Uh-huh. Kind of like me, Kate, and Tim. We're already there 6 months in without the success or money.
Yeah, I like you guys. So.
I still like you guys. Still.
Aiden says they made something last year. I don't.
Probably this.
Oh.
If the movie just came out recently, wouldn't that be the thing they made last year?
Yeah,
Well, maybe. Yeah.
What have they? And they wrote and produced Popstar. Correct.
Yeah, they they rewrote a script. Yes, it was based on a script that already existed.
And they did that. Did they do that?
That's always a confusing thing too. Isn't that like you know when you hear stories about like I was reading something about the first Die Hard even, but like someone will write a script or a screenplay or whatever, and they put everything into it, and then they send it off, and someone will say, "Yeah, we'll take it, but we're gonna change like all of it, but we're going to keep enough of it so that it's the thing you called it." Like, I don't know. Does that make you happy because does that make you happy because you made some money, or does it upset you because it means you didn't do that good of a job because they changed all of it?
I would be upset.
I would think I would be upset too.
It's easy to say that when you're not looking at like $100,000 in the face. I think that's the plight of a lot of the Hollywood screenwriters.
But I think regardless of the money, would you be? Everyone's happy to get the money, of course. But would you be? Would you be part of you think maybe I'm not that good at this?
Well, I know a guy. He's a comic, but I'm not going to name his name because but he has made a career.
Name names.
I'll just say his name is Jay. That's what his name is, and he's a very funny comic, and he's made a career writing Lifetime and Hallmark movies, and the majority of his screenplays that he's written have been bought but never made. So he's
never at all.
Never made. They just bought them and just put them on the floor.
Oh,
another thing different.
I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the production houses will buy a script so the other one doesn't have it, not necessarily with intention of making it, just so somebody else doesn't make it.
Oh, that probably sucks too.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
That happens to the majority of them.
Man.
Hey, that's what he's like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, I have a house, I have a fan. Like,
I mean, if that's the zone you're in of like, this is what I'm going to do. And that's part, but I think I'm talking about from the perspective of like, if this was your whole thing, you thought you were finally going to do it and get your thing made into this wonder. And then it was just, we bought it, but we burned it. That has to suck so bad.
Yes. Great question.
Why would someone put a condiment on my food?
Am I eating it or did I make it? If you cooked it,
like if I already made the food and I'm eating it, and then you come over and throw money at my feet and put some salt on it, I still wouldn't like that you did it.
Restaurant and you just walk by and you dump salt on the food I've ordered, or are you talking about the chef? Like seeing somebody.
A lot of variables to that.
Yeah, well, we need to know.
Well, I think now there's so many people that are trying
on purpose.
It's a really good idea. Yeah. I think there's so many. Well, we're so overpopulated now. Plus technology, you can just get information so fast. So I think it's a little bit different now than it was way back when movies first started. But you guys didn't watch this movie that I suggested to you. Maybe you've seen it, Garrett. The Mary Poppins movie, Saving Mr. Banks. Did you see that?
I did see that.
I have not seen that movie. I know what you're talking about with Tom Hanks.
With Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
The woman who wrote Mary Poppins, she like fought for that book. She went there and he had this idea that he wanted to have everything like animated, and she was like, she had everything recorded, and she fought for her characters to stay the way that she wanted them to stay. And it's an excellent movie, but I don't think things like that happen anymore.
Because Tom Hanks was like the exec. He was the main man.
Yeah. He was.
I watched it. I saw
Disney.
Yeah,
he was
Disney.
Walt.
Yeah,
that's right. He played Walter in that movie.
He did.
Like, well, these days, it makes you wonder if there was an equivalent of a Walt Disney these days. Could you, the author, get a meeting with them to be like, "No, please," or they just Pixar gave me like $80,000 and told me to go to hell.
Here's a question for let's put ourselves in the shoes here, all being kind of creative types. Is it better to be the person who gets bought and changed, or the changer who has shitty original ideas?
Ooh,
isn't that the constant?
Well, I'm not reading this. I thought the other half of that would be the person who.
I feel like he's saying
doesn't get bought.
He's saying, would you rather be the person who wrote the movie, or the person that can't write a movie but buys it and changes a couple things?
Oh.
I mean, Yeah, I don't know. At that point, I don't know. I'd rather. I guess the ideal would be you're the person who writes the movie, and
it stays.
Everybody knows how good you are, so they don't really change it that much.
Right.
Garrett, maybe you could help with this, but does that happen often? I feel like that doesn't happen that often. And because you hear horror stories from comedians or people that write stuff, and they're like, dude, you get into these rooms with these executives, and they just tear your shit apart, and you're just sitting there like, am I going to take this check or am I going to stand up for myself? I've been eating ramen noodles for the last 3 months.
I think people definitely have to fight for their vision for the most part, and I do think it is harder and harder because like the studio system now is like more like a TV writer's room. There's like a ton of people involved in making any product, like anything that actually gets enough funding to get made has so many cooks in its kitchen usually.
It's probably a good amount of executives that are distinctly unfunny people too.
Oh yeah, they're all like Harvard grads that worked at the Harvard Lampoon, and they just have amazing credentials.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why comedy a lot of times, for better and for worse, comes from basically auteurs. Like it's what Apatow, it's Will Ferrell. It's like. Comedy always comes from the same 7 people because it's like it's something where I think executives know they're not good at it, so they need to like find somebody they can trust to make money off of being funny.
Right. And also, even that turns into a kind of a negative because it's like Judd Apatow at this point, everything he makes is almost sickening. It's so bad because it will be successful. It will make a lot of money, and a lot of people will think it's funny. But people with any amount of sense of humor like can't watch for more than 20 minutes because it's so formulaic and bad. Yeah. But he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
And his old stuff wasn't like that.
Yeah, I mean,
dollar bills.
Yeah.
But you hear that like you even hear that with mega stars. They go in like I think I was listening to the Kevin Hart Joe Rogan episode. It might have been some Joe Rogan episode with a megastar or some interview, and they were complaining about the same thing. They went in and the execs were like, nah, dude, I'm going to pass. It was Vince Vaughn. They passed on Vince Vaughn's movie. And it's like, how much more famous? Like,
what else do you want from me?
You're going to just tell this guy no, but they do. They're just, So if you can't go in there as Will Ferrell and get your vision passed, imagine being like first time writer, like, to try, you walk in there, you're like, these guys are gonna walk all over me.
Pull up Quatresa's comment.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Very interesting too.
You almost have to be like independently extremely famous, which you can get kind of now, but you couldn't then. But if you're like a J.K. Rowling's now, I think now you could be like, no, you will make the movie like this. Whereas in the old days, I don't think you could have that kind of pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. With especially early black like jazz artists and stuff, they didn't get paid any money. Yeah. In fact, Led Zeppelin stole a lot of shit. People don't like to hear that. People don't like to hear the Led Zeppelin story, but they stole a lot of their stuff.
I came into this like with delusions that people are just nice people and you get things by your merit. And
no, there's no merit. There's no merit involved.
I don't want to do this. I hate to do this, but because we're wrapping up, but we got a fucking fiery comment coming in from Jesse.
At least I just like to know that. I just like to know that Jesse's watching because he's never commented before. Jesse, I hope you shared that link at least.
It's not too late.
The link.
I would like to know why. This might be a troll job. This might be a classic.
It's a troll job. I know he loves Hot Rod.
He's a bot. He's a bot. All right, we did it.
Yeah, we did it, gang.
We're here.
Nailed it.
Next week, so Garrett, the announcement is
false alarm with the bell. False alarm with the bell.
Oh,
it's called Palm Springs.
Palm Springs is on Hulu. Everybody can watch it.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. That's
it's fun. It's funny. It's like a Groundhog's Day time loop movie.
Like
Andy Samberg. Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like every day that we've been living. I like it.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, Garrett, thanks, man. This was
pleasure to be back.
We love having you. We hope to see you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Do you have anything to plug? Anything else that people should check out?
Oh yeah, check out my podcast. I like to movie.
That's right.
We're everywhere.
Movie.
Yeah.
Follow him there or at Philadelphia with an F.
That's me.
Over on the right-hand side, down below, you know her, you love her. Everybody's favorite co-host.
That's right.
at I Hate Kate. That's how she feels about herself. That's not how
Never
the
works.
Trinity
Never works the
feels.
way I want it to.
It's hard, yeah.
Top left, Professor. At Professor Fry every day of the week. I, of course, am at Tyler Rothrock. Tim, do me a favor, young man. Ring that bell.